We're going to do question 7 on the apply section on the worksheet titled volume of a cylinder. So first thing, we need to read that question. It says that a solid glass cylinder has a radius of 1.5 centimeters. So this here is the glass cylinder. It has a radius of 1.5 centimeters, so let's label that. So this radius is 1.5 centimeters. And it has a height of 7.2 centimeters. So 7.2 centimeters, that's the height. And the question said the density of the glass is 2.61 grams per centimeter cubed. So we're going to write that down here. So the density, so we're writing down what we know. So density is 2.61 grams per centimeters cubed. And the question said work out the mass of the cylinder. So when it says work out the mass of the cylinder, obviously we need to know a formula for mass. So we need to know that. And this one, typically you will know this in year 8 and definitely year 9. You'll know what the formula for mass is. But the general rule is that whenever we've got to find the mass, then we know that the density is equal to the mass divided by the volume. So that is always the case. So if we want to find the density, then cover up the density, and it's going to be mass. It's going to be mass divided by the volume. If we're trying to find volume of something, then it's going to be its mass. Mass is just the weight. So weight of something. Yeah, and density is how dense an item is. So if we want to find the volume, we want to find the amount of space that takes up the shape, so that its volume is mass divided by density. If we want to find the mass, then we are just going to times across, so density times volume. And in this question, it's asking us to work out the mass of the cylinder. So the mass of the cylinder is going to be the density times by the volume. So that's what we know. We can write that down. So the mass is equal to density times it by the volume. Density times volume. So we've got density given to us, but we don't have the volume. How can we find that volume of this cylinder? Well, we know what the volume of a cylinder is. We can use that formula for finding a volume of a cylinder. So we need to find a volume. So the volume of the glass cylinder is equal to, we know that volume is pi r squared. So pi r squared times it by the height. So the r is a radius, so 1.5 squared times it by the height of 7.2. Okay, so we're going to put this on our calculator. Okay, so we put this on a calculator. We get 50.8938 and so on. But remember that this number here, we're not rounding it at all. So at this stage, we don't round. We just round our answer. So it's important not to round in your working out, so that we get the right answers at the end. So the mass of the cylinder, so the mass is equal to, we know it's density times volume. So we know the density is given to us in the question, so 2.61 grams per centimeter cubed. And the volume is also in centimeters cubed. So we're going to times that by its volume, which we worked out, which is 50.8938 and so on. And then when we do that in the calculator, we get 132.8328 2057 908. and that's its mass. So when we round that, the question doesn't say round or anything, but we can round our answer. So now we know that this answer is accurate. We can then round it. So there's no error at all when we get to our answer. So 132.8, and that will be in grams. Okay, so the mass is weight. Remember, mass is weight, so it's going to be in units of grams, because in the question we had the density is grams per centimeter cubed, and the volume is centimeter cubed. So the mass will be grams for this specific question, because the density was in grams. Okay.